Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the Transitional Tudor family home. I am so excited to be here today. I'm actually being so productive because I got off of work, and instead of just like laying in bed and kind of just brain rotting for a while, I decided I was just gonna like make my day a little bit easier tomorrow and film or just do the voiceover, because I actually like edited this right after I posted this first part, and now I am just going to like film the voiceover, which is actually like kind of the hardest or the lengthiest part of editing part 2, because I just have to like talk and I have to figure out what I want to say and like all these different things, which is not that hard, but I definitely like, I just like to, maybe I'm an overthinker for sure, but I like to have like, I guess, some interesting things to like talk about, like noted down before I like talk, because otherwise I will talk about absolute nonsense. So I definitely want to like not do that. I also just had to remind myself to put my computer and like my phone on like do not disturb, because I always get like text messages and like emails and all this stuff when I'm recording. It's always during the voiceovers. People are always texting me during the voiceovers, and I can always hear it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to like remind myself to put myself on do not disturb so that notifications don't go through, because it's just annoying. It really annoys me, and whenever I do get a text message and I see it pop up, it's just very distracting. I always like I said, I have this like plan of things I want to talk about roughly, and I don't plan it very much. I just write a couple talking points, and that normally sparks a conversation for me to like talk about certain things. So I like, whenever I see a text message like that, it gets me distracted. No offense to any of my friends or family or anything. Obviously I love them and I love their text messages, and I will respond back to them after I'm recording. But I always get very distracted. So I am turning my phone and like computer on do not disturb. So that is nice. Anyways, that was kind of a long introduction for this whole build. We're in part 2, which I'm very excited about. Oh my god, I cannot talk today. And I think today in this build or part, I go over the kitchen, the dining room, and I think the entryway. It's kind of a random mix. I used to always build my house like interior wise, like starting at the entryway and like go kind of throughout the house, but today I was feeling a little fun and it started to go right for the kitchen, which, I mean, I don't know, sometimes when I do the first room in my BLOXBURG house is always the most important, because that kind of like sets the tone for the whole house. And normally I do have a lot of direction going into the build, especially during the interior. Like I have this vision set out, but like sometimes it changes on like the layout and how it actually looks, and like when I start building it kind of shifts. So whatever room I do first tends to kind of like take whatever I do, and it just kind of multiplies through the whole build. So it's always like really crucial what I do a lot, whatever room I do first. And normally I do like the entryway and like I work my way in through the house, but I just feel like the kitchen is really kind of the heart of the home, and I really wanted to like make a really good kitchen and then base the house on the kitchen. Like I just wanted to fall so in love with the kitchen that like I could base everything else kind of around that, which I know is not really the best method when it comes to like that. Like you should kind of have a really good solid idea in your head, this whole vision, and that is like what you go after. But like for me, I was just like, I don't know, I always just like to kind of wing it a little bit and have fun, leave it a little loosey-goosey, because in the real world you don't really do that. But it's just kind of fun to see like where it takes me and what, you know, how I get to certain places and all that stuff. So this is a very long introduction. I don't even know if this is the introduction anymore, but I go over the kitchen, the bathroom, and the dining room, or not the bathroom, entryway and the dining room. That's kind of the order of how it goes. Whenever I edit the speed builds, by the way, I always do it by like how I also do it. And I'm sure a lot of people might not like that because they probably build differently, but that's just how it is. And I want to kind of find a better process for that, so it's easier for you guys to follow. And I mean, mentally, I think I'd do better if I actually like completely finished a room and then like moved on and like did that, and like it was kind of like you know, instead of having a speed build where you're having to like scroll and figure out when I started like working on the kitchen or something, it would just be like, okay, here's a kitchen chunk, here's everything about the kitchen, move on. Okay, then once that kitchen is done, you move to the dining room, and here's the dining room. So you know, it would just be like very sectioned off on each room, and I wouldn't really go back to it. Like, it would just be 100% done. You would watch a video and you would be 100% done at the kitchen, which I think that's kind of how I'm starting to do it a lot now. But I still, even though I do that a lot in the voice or these speed builds, unfortunately sometimes I do like a lot of these touch-ups after like doing like the bulk of the kitchen or something, and I tweak little things here and there, and I don't catch those on camera because I literally will just be like not planning on filming, and I'll just be like doing something and I'm like, oh, let me just like do this or whatever, and so I'll tweak it without having the camera going. But I feel like the things I do off camera are very small that you can figure out how I did them, and they're just very small. And like I always say, I highly recommend that you look at pictures, look at the tour, pause on the tour, take pictures, take screenshots. If you're copying this build, I always recommend to do that and not really follow my speed builds, yes, because you can learn a lot, and like you can find like you can see like the actual like step-by-step things of things I do. But I just feel like if you are pretty like, you know, advanced, I guess, or like, you know, BLOXBURG pretty well, I would just say screenshot, pause, or like look at my photos, and you can really get a good grasp on like the end result. Because a lot of people get, and I guess I get it, because people who are like newer to the game, they don't know all the things, they watch the speed build and it's not really a step-by-step tutorial, it is literally a speed build, not a tutorial. And so they always are like, well, you like deleted 1,000 things. Like right now I'm building something that I don't actually remember if I actually kept or not. Like I know those bookshelves in the kitchen I got rid of, but and like yes, ideally I would love to cut the process and have all the time in the world to cut literally every single thing that I do and like delete out, but there's just so many elements that like I will build a cabinet and then I might still keep most of it and I just will redo parts of it. So I'm like, how do I show like what I did without like having to redo the whole thing? Because that's just, I don't have that time to like redo everything, but I also like want to show you how I did it. So I feel like I have to keep in a lot of things because I reuse a lot of things, so I just can't like do that. But I don't know, let me know if you have any thoughts on that. I would obviously love to make it so easy and like almost step-by-step tutorial like, but it's just hard. But for now, I will recommend that you always pause and look at the end result, watch the speed build, watch the tutorial, like kind of see how I do it. But if you see me doing anything else that doesn't look like the end result, you can skip it or kind of, you know, do that. And yeah, that's just like my advice for doing BLOXBURG builds or like recreating like literally anybody's. I feel like some people will actually go through and delete like everything that they like did, but I don't know, I have a hard time with that. And maybe down the road I will get the swing of things and I will have more time to edit, refine, or I'll just be so good that I don't even need to like redo things because I'll have this vision so like locked in my head that I don't have to like play with things. But I do like playing with things, so you know, whatever. Anyways, that's enough of like talking about that. I will say that I'm working in the kitchen right now, obviously, but the kitchen is like one of my favorite rooms in this house. And my whole building process is I like to work on one room and really, really love it. Like the first room is like the room that I really want to like do the whole house based off of, kind of, or the whole interior really, that will like kind of, you know, build the whole house off of, and everything should kind of be a little cohesive together. And you can have like bedrooms different because bedrooms are bedrooms and they're all personalized and stuff, but like I'd really like to make the house cohesive. So that's a good tip, is like try to make it cohesive, like try to find, you know, things, and you can have a little fun here and there. And I love a good, you know, room compared to like you know, or moody bathrooms that are a little bit different than the rest of the house, but there's still like this cohesiveness and stuff that I love to like do all the time. So the kitchen is my favorite house, or my favorite room in this house, just because, I don't know, it was just so beautiful. I had such a fun time like building it, and normally I don't really like, this is a problem of mine, but I don't really love doing kitchens as much. Like I love kitchens are like the heart of the home, but I don't know, I always like go for living rooms more, and maybe because it's not really like I'm not really a cook in real life. Like I really wish I could be a cook, but and I'm not saying I can't be a cook. Right now I just don't love doing it right now. Like it just seems like an extra chore, but it's a very good life skill to have. So I want to like do more cooking and stuff, and like learning how to cook and like make dishes, because it's a very good skill to have, but it just feels like an extra chore. Like it literally just feels like a lot of extra work. And I think having a really beautiful kitchen would definitely change my opinion on that for me. But I don't know. I really do love this kitchen, and it was just like my main goal to just love this kitchen so much that it would really propel me forward and like motivating me to finish this project. Because okay, I did really love this house, but like sometimes I just needed really good motivation to really get me going. Like the exterior was very motivating me, but it's like no matter what I do, like sometimes like there's always like I normally always kind of have motivation for BLOXBURG, but it's just kind of like I just get so exhausted every day that sometimes it's like even though I have this motivation, I just have such a hard time like actually getting around to doing it because I just get so tired. Which leads me to like the next thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, which is about my life and where I've been, what I've been doing since I've been gone. Because I saw a comment today, and again, I love when people comment. It makes me like so happy, especially when it's like about my voiceovers or like I don't know, it just makes me so happy. But they said, what were you doing since you've been gone? I've been so curious. And I don't know, like honestly, it's it's a great question, because sometimes I don't know how much people are actually interested about my personal life rather than just like watching BLOXBURG. And I think there's a balance to that. Like people obviously do love just the speed builds and just like BLOXBURG and all this stuff, but then there's also people who just want to know a little bit more and all this stuff. And sometimes I also have a hard time like figuring out like what do I want to share and like what do I not want to share like about my life on here. But I will answer this question because I actually do really love it, and it's kind of a hard answer though because I also like don't really know like what I've been doing. I honestly feel like my life, like it's changed a lot because now I'm kind of working full time, and like YouTube used to be my full-time job pretty much, and it really hasn't been. And so I just haven't been able to like get as much time as I used to have dedicated to like this like now, just because I'm working a lot more. And I don't know, like so it's mostly just like that, and like holidays always get it busy for me. And so like I posted like during Halloween and like some of the fall stuff, and I always like have a hard time. First of all, I have a hard time building Christmas houses. One, because I know a lot of people like would love to see like a more Christmas or like a winter house, but I have a hard time for a couple of reasons. One, for some reason I always try to build a Christmas or like winter themed house and they never turn out well. I don't know, like they just never look right to me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. They just never look how I want them to look or envision them, and that's just me being kind of giving up and stuff. But two, because a lot of times people put in so much effort into seasonal houses, and like I also get it because there's also a large demand for seasonal houses, but it's also very annoying because sometimes when you do like Christmassy like holiday houses, like Halloween, like autumn houses do good, but Halloween specific houses, like they only last for a couple weeks and then it's like no one really wants to watch them again. So same thing with like Christmas specific houses, like people will watch them for a couple weeks. You have to be very early to it, and then people won't watch them like after Christmas because, you know, who wants to do that? I don't know, like people do. And like obviously like winter houses, they like, you know, people still watch winter houses and winter still exists after Christmas. But it's just like the seasonal houses always like are a little bit more challenging because when you invest so much time into these houses, like I don't want to tell you how much of time I've spent building houses and how much time I spent on like each house. It's so scary. But it's just not really worth it because you get like a couple weeks of like of, you know, people watching them and stuff, and then no one really watches them again for maybe a whole year, and then they want a new house. They don't want to watch your old house, they want to see a new house. So it's like, it's definitely like a little bit more challenging motivationally for me because of that reason, and also the fact that I always want to make a winter house, but they always just don't look right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I don't know, I just have a hard time with building like snow. And I also like, I do think there's such pretty winter houses, but I can never figure out how to do that. So that's one reason, as I just never really had a winter house to like go after, and I have all these ideas, they just never look how I envision them, and that's why I just don't ever do them. And then 2 is because holidays are always my busy season. All my friends like come home for the holidays, so I'm spending time with my friends that I haven't seen in a long time, and obviously family, and like the holiday shopping and being like festive is always busy. It's like a lot of shopping, a lot of entertaining, a lot of friends. It's just a lot. And so I kind of like, I love the question, but like I also don't know what to say because I feel like my life is very mundane. I haven't done anything super interesting, and I feel like if I think about this a little bit harder or longer, I could find some really funny stories about my life that I would love to share. I just cannot think of it. So being very broad right now, I don't know. I've just literally been working and like hanging out with friends, and I just get really tired after work that I don't want to like do anything. And I'm trying to like break that habit a little bit because it's like once you sit down on your bed or like you just start chilling out, like you don't do anything the rest of the night. So I'm trying to like break the habit of like obviously chilling out is very important for your mental health, but like what's the line of like doing that? Like I think once I get home and like actually like lay on my bed for 20 minutes, I won't do anything the rest of the night. Like I have to like do something and like not like, or I can chill, but I just can't lay on my bed because that's what gets me to like, I just get so tired. I don't want to like do anything. So I think that's the trick. But I don't know, I've just kind of been in survival mode the last couple months of like things, just because like work's been stressful, time consuming, and I've just been very exhausted and kind of burnt out. And it's not like I've been burnt out by BLOXBURG, it's just mostly like I've been so burnt out of kind of just life and working that literally just, I don't know, like it's just very time consuming. So that's kind of like where I've been, which I know it's not fun. It's not like, oh, I traveled and did this. Like, no, it's been very kind of boring. But I have spent a lot of time with like friends and like hanging out, and just like kind of working on myself a little bit. I really do, like I've been getting a lot better into like, getting a routine of a lot of things, which I never really had consistently. Like I always obviously I love routine, but I was kind of like in a bad-ish routine. Like I had a routine, but it was not like the greatest routine, and I always loved routines. I wanted to build this like very good, healthy routine, and I just never did. But I feel like I'm actually finally getting there. Knock on wood, don't jinx it. But I feel like I'm finally getting to a point where I'm building like a really good routine about a lot of my life and like balancing it out. And I said this last fall too, so I really don't want to jinx it, but like I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm kind of learning a lot about myself. I'm taking care of my mental health, my physical health, and balancing it all out, and also like my social friendships and just being social, and I'm just trying to balance it out and figure it all out, but also post on BLOXBURG because I do want to do that. So I don't know, nothing super interesting happened while I was gone. It was not a really good not like, there's obviously like it was kind of a good excuse, but like it wasn't like I had this like really fun excuse to like why I wasn't posting or anything. It was just kind of like that. But also like now that I think about it a little bit longer, like when I came back to like this with this build, I didn't think I was gone that long again, because I like was posted a Halloween build, like the fall Tudor house thing, and I was kind of active again, and then I didn't really have a winter house. And at that point, okay, I guess I posted that in like October, and then I didn't post for November, and then I didn't post for December, and I was working on this house in January. So I kind of, even though like I didn't post anything, I was like still being active like on BLOXBURG, if that makes sense. So like to me, it's like I wasn't really gone that long because I took like a 2-month break of like no building, not really engaging anywhere, not social media, not BLOXBURG. And then I was like working on this house since like the end of December, January and stuff, and it just took this long to actually finish it. And I could have gotten this house done so much faster. But again, time constraints really had me going because I don't have the time anymore to just sit and work on a build for a week and then be done. Like, okay, normally that's actually never been true. Maybe a long time ago I was able to like do that, but like that has not been true in like years where I've been able to like finish a house in a week because there's just so much that like it just takes so much time. Like honestly, I wish it didn't, but like so much creativity, so much mental stuff that I just like have to go through with each build. And I kind of feel like having more of a time constraint and having a little bit more structure has been a lot better. Like now that I have this time constraint, it's like like everything I do on BLOXBURG and like how I spend my time is a lot more reasonable, and I have a lot more like, I don't know, like logic, I guess. Before I would overthink things all the time, and so like now I'm like it does not matter that much. It's literally just a game. It's just BLOXBURG, and it does not have to be like super perfect. And I had this like all these challenges before and like these brain blocks and stuff, and so having this constraint and stuff has kind of gotten me to almost be a little bit more creative, because it's like, how can I build a little bit faster but also have a great result? And how can I like not overthink things a lot, which is one of my biggest problems before. It's like I'd overthink things, and I still do that. Like, don't get me wrong, I still do that, but being able to build in a little bit more of a time constraint has been better. And I know you're probably like, okay, well, it still took you 3 months to build this house, and like, yes, it did, but like, okay, this is actually a pretty big house. I don't know what I was thinking when I thought I like had so many different goals for this house. Like, I actually don't even want to say what this, I always make a little bit of a deadlines for houses and stuff, and like, I don't want to say what this deadline was because it was so past due that it's actually embarrassing. I thought I had like all this time to like do it, but obviously life takes you and throws you in different directions, and like I love my friends and like hanging out with them, so like of course I'm always going to like kind of prioritize them when like spontaneous things pop up here and there. And yeah, I guess that's kind of where I've been. Honestly, it's not that amazing of an answer. It's not like I was traveling and stuff. It's like I don't know, again, I feel like I wasn't gone that long because I only took like a 2-month break, and then I was building again, but like no one really saw that because I was just building, and now it's like here. But I will say, whenever I do a speed build and stuff, it's always nice because I do want to do like other content, which I know I've said 1,000 times. And like, when do I do it? Maybe once. I've only done like one like challenge video and stuff, like commentary video. But I do want to do like other content, and I feel like I can just never really get ahead until I have a speed build, because speed builds, they allow, like doing the multiple parts, it allows me to post like a lot, and I get a lot of content from it. Even though like it's very time consuming, but I get a lot of content. Like once it's done, I can kind of like get a lot of content ideas and stuff for a while and be okay and not have to like have a ton of things like done, if that I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't even know like what I'm talking about. But so like I do like having speed builds because they do kind of add a like, once I get this done, I have so much content for a long time, and then I just keep working on the new build in the background while pushing out content for this, and that's how I can kind of like get ahead. But I also don't really want to, like, I want to do speed builds. I think I always kind of want to do a little bit of speed builds, but I do want to branch out my content a little bit here and there and do more challenges and do stuff. And like doing a big speed build like this with having, you know, multiple parts and a lot of content, it kind of propels me a lot forward. So yeah, that's kind of a lengthy story about where I've been, but also not going too far into details but also I don't even know what details there is, because that's literally the truth. There's like nothing super else interesting. And I always tell my friends this, like whenever they come back from like college and stuff, and they're visiting and they're here and stuff, and they're like, what's going on, what's new with you? I'm like, nothing. Like literally I am probably like the most, okay, I don't want to say this, it's probably kind of mean to myself, but I also don't think it's like a bad thing, but I kind of think I'm like one of the most uninteresting people because I'm so motivated in other ways besides socializing and like doing things or like all of this, that to me, like, I have a lot of interesting like things about myself, but like nothing really like super new, and like I have like all these crazy stories happen because I just love my simple life a little bit. Like I know I need to like branch out and do more things and like have more fun and have more experiences, and I want to like find that balance, but I'm also just a person who just loves to just be at home and chill and I'm a homebody at heart. I really do. I just love being at home, and like I love working on myself and doing like my self-care and being, you know, like my health journey and my mental health journey, and I love like that. But like I don't get out as much as I probably should, in a sense of like doing crazy things, I guess, if you want to say, like, and that's just kind of who I am as a person. I've come to terms with that, but I just love to really protect my peace, if you will. I don't know, it's something about it. I just love staying in my lane, being positive, and working on myself, and that's truly what you can do, and that's what you can control, and that's what I need right now, is a little bit of control and a little bit of that. But I would really love to share like more about my life a little bit more, so if you're interested, let me know, because I would love to like do a little bit more and like sharing and like talking, and that kind of brings up this next topic, and that is about my face reveal, which is something I've always wanted to do, and I've never been like scared about it at all. I actually wanted to do this a lot earlier, but I also had this like idea of just like waiting a while to like reveal it and to kind of have more of like a actual reveal about it, to like do it. And I've just like never been insecure about it, or like it's not like I was like hiding my face, but I've just kind of like, I don't know, I've always kind of been waiting for this moment of like, what is the threshold that I should wait to like actually do a face reveal and like make it really fun. And I don't know what that is exactly yet, but I feel like I'm starting to get closer to just being like, hey, this is me. And yeah, I don't know how to like, I don't know what I am like thinking about like actually revealing it or when. I want to do it somewhat soon though, and but I also kind of want to wait till like a good like subscriber count to be like 50k face reveal, like, and I don't know if it's gonna be 50k or maybe 75k. I don't know. I kind of want to wait for like a milestone like that to like do it, but I also just kind of like want to do it for fun because I think it would really be like really fun to connect with you all on a face to kind of face basis. It's not really face to face because like I don't really see your guys' face, although I'd love to, but I've always wanted to do like a face reveal, and I don't know when. I guess I'm kind of hyping it up a little bit because I'm like, I know I've wanted to do it, I just don't know when. And so I don't know, like I'm gonna tease it because I want to do it somewhat soon. I don't know like how, like somewhat soon, when will that be exactly, or what it will be, or how it will be, and if I want to do like a certain milestone. I kind of want to wait for a certain milestone, and I don't know what that is yet. Like again, if it's 50k or 75k, maybe even 100k, I don't know, but I just really want to do it. I think that would really help connect, you know, everyone to me a little bit better, and I think it would open up a little bit more opportunities to like do other things and branch out a little bit. And I don't know, I'm kind of excited about it at some point, and I just don't know when. I'm not sure like when I actually want to do it, and maybe it'll be super nonchalantly, and maybe it'll be a bigger thing, and I don't know. But I'm looking forward to that like a little bit here and there. Like every time I see like a cool TikTok trend like showcasing like people doing like reveals of like random things, like there was a trend a while ago of like people showing like their Roblox character and like their face, and I was like, oh, maybe I should like just do it for fun, like, you know, that would be so fun to just like do it kind of low-key-ish, you know. But I never like did, because I'm like, no, I just want to like wait a little longer, and like I know I can't, I just want to wait a little bit longer, and like, so I don't know, maybe we'll see. Maybe you'll be surprised, you'll be on TikTok and you'll be like, what the heck? Or maybe it'll be this I'll make it a bigger thing on YouTube and stuff, and maybe I'll do like face cam videos. I don't know. Maybe I'm teasing it a little too hard now. I don't know. But I definitely want to connect a little bit more on like a personal way, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly that might look like and how much information that is and all that. But I want to do that, and so I'm just kind of teasing it and putting it out there, and yeah. Let me know about that. But anyways, I feel like that was a really good voiceover, kind of long. Well, not long. My goal is 30 minutes, and I'm at the 30 minutes right now. So I am going to log off for the night. I'm getting very tired. I'm losing some brain cells by talking more and more. So I will end the misery here of me talking. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the speed build, and I will see you guys in part 3. I know I didn't really want to do part 3s anymore because they're kind of annoying, but I forget how big houses can be sometimes and how sometimes they need a part 3. So I will see you guys in part 3, and that will be the final part. Until then, enjoy the speed build.